have sex with Madonna, and then die. We saw a body of evidence, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a rhinestone vest while ripping Justin to Kelly, or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul in the beautiful June, gonna take you from the goob all the way to the room. Ran the games of Street Fighter, helped to blow off steam, just a sucker punch the odd life of Timothy Green. Sharknado to Birdemic, how we staying alive. They call it in the badass and he's on the line, cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice, cause a bad Jim Varney looking kinda nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They judge a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made? That's a good look, Haru.
What's that smell?
Hey everybody, welcome to Matinee Monday. I'm your host, Paul Scheer. This is a chance where we look back at classic How Did This Get Made episodes that have been locked up in the vault, but are now put back into the mainstream for you. But before you listen, here is a little sneak peek of what you got. This is an episode recorded live in Washington, D.C. at the same place Eddie Murphy recorded Delirious. I know, and it made me so excited to be in that stage, in that room, because this was a wild night. I know in our last episode, I said that that movie was one of the most sexual films that we've ever done. But I truly believe this might be the most porny of all porniest How Did This Get Made films that we have done, or at least up until this point. It's Madonna. It's Willem Dafoe. An audience member gives us a tidbit that Lars Van Trier said about Willem Dafoe, that his member is confusingly large. That is the premise of actually one of our shirts, which you can see right here. Yeah, we have to monetize whenever we get a chance. But this is a crazy episode because it's an episode where Madonna has sex with somebody and then kills them. And she also kills other people in this movie, but June refuses to admit that she is a murderer, even though Madonna confesses that she is. I don't know what was going on there, but the biggest similarity that we saw in this movie to another How Did This Get Made movie was a houseboat. That's right. It was the 90s, and houseboat living was featured in films a lot, films like Drop Dead Fred. And we talk about the houseboat as a cool function or a cool way to describe a person who doesn't live on land, but doesn't also live off the grid. And we also get into this great conversation between Willem Dafoe and his stepchild about having sex until you die. Take a listen. I knew she was suspect when I saw that houseboat. I was like, if you're on a houseboat, you're up to something.
You will hear this episode then maybe in the near future, or maybe you've already heard it, but also in Drop Dead Fred, there's a woman in the late 80s, early 90s who's childless, single, living on a houseboat.
That is such an 80s, I guess now early 90s, right? Isn't this early 90s?
Early 90s
Such
trope.
a trope that doesn't exist anymore. Like if you would have asked me in 1984 my dream living scenario, I would have said houseboat.
Now,
well, the thing that I love about it though for women is it's like she has no place on land.
You're a pariah. You're a pariah.
Like you're
an unmarried
walk
woman.
on this land.
Yeah.
You maybe don't want to have children. Like get out off the land.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Society is saying drown yourself. Their answer is not quite yet.
I thought it was single ladies want a house that can rock with them when they fuck.
That's it.
That's what I thought.
By the way, the house looked amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, there were some interesting choices there. One being the giant vase just simply in the living room. And just the amount of candles. She seemingly hot. Oh, we have some candles in the audience tonight.
Wow.
I appreciate you.
Those are gonna be hard to drip. Well, okay. If you now produce 4 candles, I'm gonna fucking freak out.
3 candles.
Because there was 2, then there was 3. And if there was suddenly 16 candles,
And then Molly Ringwald came in and said, I have a question.
And Jake Ryan.
But that houseboat is the classiest houseboat. I did some research. I Googled it today. Apparently, houseboats are very big in Portland, where she was, where this movie takes place, and they're called float homes. And as of right now, there are 450 float homes in Oregon.
Wow.
So that was some real research there. I guess what I was really unclear about until the very end was that Willem Dafoe was married to Anne Archer.
No.
I mean, was
Julianne
married to Julianne Moore. Sorry. Julianne Moore and Anne Archer in this movie look a little bit alike.
I mean, straight up, Anne Archer in my soon-to-be Ladies of the 80s podcast. A full season will be dedicated to Anne Archer. I loved Anne Archer, but Julianne Moore crushing in. I loved her. I loved her like running her restaurant. I loved everything.
It was one of the best parts of the movie for me, is the development of that relationship and what she did with so little, and their son.
Her son from another marriage that is
fascinating.
That is not like, they don't dig in on anything, but it's all there.
Yes.
But that's why I thought they weren't married. I feel like that wasn't, first of all, Willem Dafoe
because you can't expand your ideas about what family structures look like. You're just like locked in.
Well, I think it was more due to the fact of the way that Willem Dafoe talked to a child, which was...
Keep in mind, he's still Willem Dafoe.
Can you really screw someone to death?
No. Besides, you don't have to worry about that stuff yet. Do you?
No.
Because you are a good-looking guy. Let's go.
Nope.
So
no, thank
weird.
you. No, thank you, sir.
Here's the thing. We need to be able to talk to our children about how much pussy they're gonna get. We can't let them be afraid out there. We have to let them know. Guess what? In a couple of years, you're gonna be drowning in it.
By the way, Willem is lying to him. You can screw someone to death. That's the one thing that we know about this movie. You can do it. Frank Langella says she tried to screw me to death. Like, that's the central thesis.
But it didn't work, and it's hard to know. So, again,
and I wouldn't tell a kid.
I would never
tell a
child
kid that.
there. But she did
Old enough
not
to ask it.
actually. I don't know what the autopsy report actually said.
Cardiac arrest.
He died, right? But it seems he died from the cocaine and not from.
No, the strenuous sex plus the cocaine is what gave him a heart attack.
Hey, if you got to go out.
But how would you? I mean, I'm
What do you
genuinely
mean?
wondering how you
What do
would
you mean?
possibly
Go out,
know
right?
that.
Paul, are you asking to be murdered?
Not a bad way to go, am I right? Where are my bros? A high five, right?
Where are your bros? High five?
Bud Lights for everybody.
Bud Lights? You're gonna go out like on a light beer?
The Body of Evidence is available now wherever you stream your podcast. Just listen to How Did This Get Made. Remember to follow us on iTunes and rate and review us. It does help. And remember to follow us here on YouTube if you want more Matinee Mondays. New episodes every single week. We give you a little sneak peek of what's out there. It's the only How Did This Get Made spot on the entire internet. Bye for now.